Hello and welcome back to another episode of Bant with Laurentia on the Lauren TV, a channel that celebrates ordinary people doing extraordinary things. So please subscribe, like, share, and also click on that notification bell to get notified anytime I post new content. So happy new year to all my viewers, happy new year to all my subscribers, and if you're coming across this channel for the first time, welcome. So this is a channel where we discuss, basic lifestyles and, things that are useful to us. So just like anything that comes in my head, I'm happy to bant about it. So for today's episode, I will be talking about comfort zone versus the growth zone. The reason why I wanted to make this my first video is, every new year we make new year resolutions. I have not really been big on new year resolutions, although I always ensure that I have like a big goal or a big project that always the ones, have every year planned, and everything else is going to revolve around that project. And that's the way I roll. So I don't really have like specific New Year resolutions. Like, I think I need to start having them, but anyway, that's just me. I don't really think about, this year I'm going to be a better person. I mean, if you have to do that on a yearly basis, then you have a problem. You should strive to be better on, a daily basis. So I've not really been big on New Year resolutions or the New Year, New Me thing. But something changed. I was going through social media and I came across this post by Megan's good ex-husband, and he talked about, it was a very sad post. He was announcing his divorce, and he made a post. He shared a very emotional picture, but on the headline it says, happy true year. Literally, that was it for me. I couldn't even, it was later I had to go back to read whatever he had to say about the whole thing, but that stopped me on my track. And I'm like, this is why I don't really have like, give myself this pep talk of happy new year, because it for me it doesn't make any difference. But happy true year really made a massive difference to me. I was like, yes, having a true year is something that we all need to strive to have. It's very important that we don't just say happy new year, we say happy true year. This is a year that is true to you. This is a year that you're committed to be true to yourself. This is a year that you tell yourself, okay, it's not about New Year resolution. It's not about saying, I want this, I want that, I want to be this, I want to be that. Is that true to who you are? Is that true to yourself? Is that true to your happiness? Is that true to your growth? So this is what I want to talk about, comfort zone versus growth zone. When we talk about comfort zone, we are in situations where we feel comfortable. We're in situations where we feel in control. And most times when you're in your comfort zone, that is where you make all these resolutions about this year I want to be a better version of myself. What does that really mean to be a better version of yourself? One of the things with comfort zone is it kills, your growth, especially if you don't have vision. And what is vision? Vision is basically having the ability to think about the future or to plan the future with imagination or with wisdom. When people talk about vision, you think about all these big corporations with all this, catchy slogans and all that. It is on a basic level, it's just you thinking far into the future and thinking about what you want to do with your life, or what kind of life you want to live in. And for me, I think I've always had vision. I know, yeah. I've always had vision. I mean, I've always known the kind of life I want to live. I've always known the, person I am, and I've always kind of known myself, if that makes sense. And it doesn't really matter the situation I'm in. It doesn't really matter what people think about me. It doesn't really matter what I need to do or how how hard I need to do to work to get to a certain level, I've always known, I've always had this imagination of what that looks like. For you to even be able to visualize something, you have to be able to imagine what that would look like. You visualize it, you imagine it, and you plan towards that, and that is vision. It takes, courage to realize that, okay, I'm in my comfort zone. What do I need to do to get from my comfort zone to a different zone? So I was going through reading about this, and I came across three different zones. So there is the comfort zone, there is the fear zone, and then there is the growth zone. So the comfort zone is basically where people stay. They're happy, they're comfortable, they don't want to stress themselves in terms of thinking outside the box, to get out there, to do things for themselves. And the next zone is the fear zone, and the fear zone is literally where you tell yourself, what do I need to do? I'm finding myself in situations whereby it's kind of a flight or a fright or flight situation where you either act on it or you die there. So sometimes people decide, you know what, I am happy, comfortable with this situation, I'm happy to be here, and then they just remain in that comfort zone. But the fear zone is where you've now made that decision to actually do something about your situation. And in this fear zone, you're no longer thinking about, what people are going to say, because for you to grow, you actually need to be able to just shut out what anybody is going to think about you, what anybody is going to say about you, and just proceed to growth. So it's a very frightening kind of situation to be in, especially when you know that you have to put yourself in situations whereby you're going to go through friction. So the fear zone is very real, but you need vision to be able to get through that. You need vision. You must have imagined, what you're going to get at the end of that road, and what you get from there is, you come into the growth zone. So basically, the growth zone is where you're now growing. I mean, you've come out of your comfort zone. You've learned new skills, you've improved yourself, and then you have created a different kind of comfort zone for yourself. So it's no longer the usual comfort that you have now gone into a different level of comfort, and then you're in that zone. So, but the most important thing about the growth zone is you're constantly growing. You keep growing regardless of anything, regardless of who you are. One thing I've learned about myself is I have always been on the growth zone, even without knowing it. So when I was reading about this, I tried to think of examples where I've been in my comfort zone, and I couldn't think of any. I really tried. I was like, when have I just been okay? Just sit down and be like, I am comfortable. I don't need to grow. That has never really happened, because it's always boom, 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 boom. I need to get this, I need to do this, I need to do that. And it has always been a growth process. So I think for me, New Year resolutions should be not really, Happy New Year. It should be Happy True Year, because if you're true to yourself, you're going to know which level or which zone you're in. Are you in the comfort zone? Are you in the fear zone? Are you in the learning zone? Or are you in the growth zone? If you're able to determine which zones you are, then you will be able to just move from one zone to the other. But the zone you don't want to be in is the comfort zone. Don't remain in the comfort zone. Regardless if it's a new year, regardless if you're making new resolutions, think about those resolutions you're making. Think about, are you making them for your own comfort? Is that still keeping you down in your comfort level? Or those new year resolutions, are they propelling you into, the fear zone that will force you to confront your fears, force you to face challenges, force you to expand in whatever you're doing? And that in turn will take you into the learning zone, because once you have vision and you've decided, okay, I am going to implement these things that I want to be, then you go into the learning zone. You start learning new skills. You start learning how to get yourself out of, whatever comfort level you are, or whatever fear zone you find yourself into. You start learning things to propel you out of that. And once you've done that, you come into the growth zone. We are in the growth zone. We are, sitting comfortably in the growth zone, and that is where you have to be. The growth zone is the most relaxing zone that you can be in, because it is one thing to be teachable. It is one thing to desire to grow. It is a different thing to actually put that into practice. But once you're in the growth zone, it's kind of a second nature to you. You think, okay, I have to grow. Like for myself, I tell myself every year, I set a goal for myself that, okay, it's not really kind of impossible, because if you have gone out of your comfort zone, literally there is nothing as impossible for you to do within your capacity. Don't go and say you want to fly to the moon because you're in a growth zone. No, you have to be very realistic. That's why it is happy true year. Not really happy new year, because every day is a new day, every day is a new dawn, but every day is not a true day. But when you know that today is a true day for me, then you're able to come into the growth zone and just flourish in that zone. You're able to tell yourself truth. You're able to tell yourself what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And there was this thing that a lecturer used to say. He said, start with the easy one. Do the easy one, get those ones out of the way, do the difficult ones. Even the impossible ones will become possible. But when you start with difficult things and then you hit a roadblock, and then you be like, okay, let's say you're in your comfort zone and you decide to jump into the growth zone without going through the process of going through the fear zone, the learning zone, and then ultimately into the growth zone, then you have a problem. So ensure that you take steps that is true to you. Go from one zone to the other. Go from your comfort zone to your fear zone, where you analyze things for yourself, where you're afraid. Fear is very necessary. People think you don't need fear. You need fear. If your dream doesn't scare you, then literally you're still in your comfort zone. You are still in your comfort zone. So you need that fear zone to scare yourself, jolt yourself into reality. And if you're telling somebody something and they're not thinking, what is she talking about, or what are they talking about, then I don't think you're challenging yourself enough. So this year, let us challenge ourselves to do things that will not only scare us, we'll learn from, and ultimately will grow from. That is my New Year resolution, and that is my happy true me. I don't want to say happy new year to myself. I can say happy new year to every other person if that works for you. But to me, what I said to myself this year is happy true year. And this year I'm about to live my truest self. I'm about to live my truest life. I'm in the growth zone. I am growing, I'm learning. I am ensuring that, yes, I even within my, growth zone, I have my comfort zone. But realizing that you're in the growth zone, which within your comfort zone, you're even growing in that level. So that's the difference between, just staying in your comfort zone and not dealing with fears and not dealing with learning processes. But when you're in the growth zone, you've done all those things, and you now have the mindset that you need to grow on a daily basis. Sometimes people are afraid to do things. Sometimes people are just scared to get out there and challenge themselves. So this year, let us challenge ourselves. Let us ensure that we're growing. Let us ensure that we're scaring ourselves with aspirations, and let us learn new skills that will help us to fulfill all those things. And once we've done that, we'll move into the growth zone, where we'll start the process all over again. It is a vicious cycle. Learning has no end. If you want to be able to be one of the movers and shakers of the world, you cannot stop learning, because the day you stop learning is the day you tell yourself, I know it all, and that's it. So let us try to propel ourselves to do things that are beyond our comfort zone. Let us think outside the box. Let us also try to grow, learn and grow. As we're learning, we're growing, and let us make that a continuous process. So that will be all for today. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please subscribe to this channel, like, comment, and also click on the notification bell to get notified anytime I post new content. I am happy to receive your comments. I am happy to read your views. So if this video in any way resonates with you, please leave me an email at admin@didilorentv.com. I am happy to talk about it. I am happy to share your views if you want that to happen. So thank you very much, and see you same time next week. Bye bye.